for what could be the final time today if Invictus Gaming has their way, but Fnatic will do everything in their power to stop that as the Shen is the first ban.
Yeah, already we're seeing the effect of Soaz in here. Definitely a champion that they can flex to Hylissang, but primarily this change due to the change in top laners and the champions you talked about.
We'll see if the Fnatic does leave open the Urgot to try to bait the Sion versus Urgot matchup. That could be pretty comfortable for Soaz. I think Sion is the most expected pick for him, but we're zoomed in on Invictus Gaming here on the blue side for their second ban. They will be the ones banning away the Aurelia. So still leaving it open as a caps pick. This is much less of a flex pick here, even though Soaz, of course, has practiced the pick in solo queue.
Right, you would much more expect it from Caps, who has already played the champion 6 times now at this tournament, including when we saw him play it earlier today. And Fnatic already taking the Akali off the board. Their second ban coming up here in a moment, and that one will target LeBlanc, keeping it away from Rookie and the potential of an IG first pick now that they're on blue.
I'm already starting to think about possible marksman picks as well. Since I'm thinking more of the shift for Fnatic will turn towards Reckless as a carry. Securing a good matchup for him will be very important. The Lucian, piloted by Jackie Love, was very oppressive early on in the lane phase previously, and it has always been coupled with Alistar here, who does find himself on the ban.
Yeah, with it being a blue side ban, it does mean that the Sivir is pretty freed up here in terms of a draft from the side of Fnatic. We already talked about that a couple of times. Still worth drawing Sivir bans in spite of the Alistar being worn by Invictus Gaming in the first couple of games. Chase the final ban here, trying to reduce the explosive burst damage, and like Kobe said, we are expecting this to eventually be a hyper carry for Reckless.
First game that the Rakan is not banned. First game that the Rakan is now first picked. The champion instantly locked in there for IG.
And will we see Fnatic try to contest Xayah Rakan or leave it open, because the Xayah kind of straddles the line between having some early power and being very relevant in the late game. Other stuff is available. Urgot, available. Victor, available.
And locked in.
Victor will be locked in for the side of Fnatic. Soaz, in years past, had plenty of top lane mages like the Vladimir in his pool, but this could be a 3-way flex for Fnatic.
Will we see it? Invictus Gaming, they have the Shy in the top lane, who was previously a Riven one-trick. He talked about wanting a World Championship skin for Riven.
Oh boy, you're talking about
this.
this.
Possible all-in kill lane versus a Victor. All right, we're getting definitely a little bit ahead, but
yeah,
that is kind of the tantalizing idea here. Victor has dominated the World Championship since he emerged with the Q-Max early evolution for the top lane, using that shield and speed very effectively for a lot of those melee matchups.
And let's talk about what Victor doesn't do well against, because that's kind of why Riven and Echo have come up, is gap close. You want something that can gap close onto and make his life hell. Think of Echo in the mid lane. Theoretically, Echo in the top lane, but the jungle matchup always fell away from Cloud9. IG have responded with Camille, which could be a top lane pick here to try to all in with a strong jungler, and Aatrox, who we know that Victor actually rose as a counter pick too. So will it just be the Aatrox mid lane, or this Aatrox jungle we've alluded to a couple of times, lead to this being a quite surprising blue side flex draft from IG?
Yeah,
I love how many flex drafts there are.
The Aatrox into showing Victor already is a little
suspicious,
curious.
huh?
Yeah, the extra speed from Victor goes a very long way in dodging those Q sweet spots. As you said, though, Rookie very well could use it in the mid lane. And we'll see how the bans in number 2 do turn out.
First thing I'm seeing, Broxah will not be on Lee Sin for the 3rd time today. They're saying, all right, you got the Xayah, you got the Victor. We don't really want Broxah on this champion that he's so trademarked for to begin with, so let's go ahead and get that out of the picture. The Lucian banned out by Fnatic. Let's see what they decide to do here as their final ban of this 3rd game in a best of 5. What will it be? And it's Syndra. Rookie's accuracy on that was just way too good.
It does seem like Fnatic are opening up the chance for there to be some shenanigans with this IG draft. Probably a good move, as I imagine they will not know the roles that the champions are assigned to till after everything has been locked in. Fnatic looking for a jungler here so they can play around with this Victor as the final pick. Lee Sin banned away this time. The Xin Zhao, so a lot of top tier is banned. We saw Broxah jump onto the Rex side previously.
Yes.
Not 100% sure of the matchup here. Which way is he going to go? The Jax that he's hovered and had banned is actually going to be picked up, and this is probably the jungle Jax for Broxah.
Yes, sir. That is quite an interesting pick that you do not see too much of these days, as Invictus Gaming now have their last 2 picks to make, having seen the Jax. Look at that, 100% win rate.
Yeah.
That's the kind of numbers you like to say. Ignore how many times he's been picked and all, but that, at least it's a win 1 game, 1 win, that's a good number, as Jackie Love's going to be playing Kaisa yet again, and Galio is locked in for IG.
And I was wondering about this Galio in the last round here, because it does round out so well with the Camille, and it doesn't necessarily cement the roles. Your first thought is Aatrox top lane, Camille jungle, but it allows those two to be played around with. Fnatic, they consider their options. It will in fact be Victor mid, which plays into Soaz being in the game rather than Whippo, who we would really credit as the top lane mage player. And now we're going to see Victor mid lane against Galio. Not necessarily a matchup that Victor can influence too much.
And Victor mid lane, especially against Galio, can very well still max E. It doesn't have to be the new top lane max Q for the lower cooldown or on your shield spam for the lane, because E max does go a long way as far as wave clear in the mid lane. You don't have to worry as much, about those all-ins.
And topside, it's the most classic matchup of Worlds 2018. It's Aatrox Urgot. We've seen this time and time again. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Demon and the big industrial clankety clank thing. But either way, these guys are going to go head to head, and what should be a very intense skill matchup.
So as on the Urgot, going to want to have a better performance than Whippo was able to in game number 2. And the Shy in a skill matchup is a very scary proposition, given the sort of form he's shown in especially game number 2.
Also, looking at the overall team compositions, Invictus Gaming drafting heavily into synergies between champions. Rakan, Camille, and Galio, some of the champions that work the best together with those ultimates. That is a huge team fight presence and a very quick engage that Fnatic will have to work around. Meanwhile, the Fnatic team composition does work quite well when split up. They have a Thresh Lantern to try and save people from possible engages, and a couple of options as trying to pressure side lanes.
Chances are running out for Fnatic. It's do or die. They've made some adjustments in game number 2. The adjustments did not bring them any closer to a win than game number 1, as IG has played phenomenally so far. But this is the European representatives' last chance to make their stand before IG make a clean sweep out of the World Finals. They will be playing from the blue side for the first time this series, as Fnatic will finally be coming out of the red corner, and we'll see everyone draw those lines. So far this game, we've seen a ward killed in the top part of the river before minions 2 games in a row. We'll see if that happens a 3rd time in a row here, as everything just continues playing out pretty normally for now. Wards being placed down into brushes, Balon walking over one of those. Again, this Rakan has been banned out twice before. Now that it's finally on the Rift, what is it going to do? Is Balon in a bad spot? Hylissang is going to walk forward here. Jackie finding a little bit of damage down into Reckless. It's Balon who's in some trouble more than anyone else. Ignite going to be going down. Balon still trying to get himself away, but first blood over to Fnatic, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered.
And who does it go to? Caps in the mid lane on Victor. On top of that, he got a slide
sack of gold
from his Kleptomancy off of the auto for the kill. So he's super cashing in. The game doing everything it can to try and get Fnatic and extend this series.
And the MVP here is the ward they put down at level 1. Balon doesn't scout it, as you were pointing out. Long cooldown on that one, Kobe, at level 1. No ability to get out. They chase him down. Rakan had so many base stat nerfs that he is just a slice of paper. That paper is taken down, and that's a nice advantage for Fnatic.
Yeah, Balon was a little bit greedy there. He didn't want to immediately flash over the wall, wanted to save his summoner spell, but him walking back allowed the travel time there for Caps to come over and get all that money.
And you can see on your screen right now, this is Soaz's 69th game at Worlds, tied for the 2nd of all time. Kobe, you mentioned how this guy has experience dating all the way back to Season 1. That's what you're talking about, as Hylissang gets thrown up into the air. Balon gonna lose about half his health here again. Reckless also taking a couple hits in this bottom side trade. But Fnatic are off to the best start they found themselves so far this series, as the Shy finds himself a favorable trade onto Soaz, who returns some damage there with a machine gun, and they'll back away.
Seeing Soaz just try to stand tall, because he knows the bot lane is where most of the action is happening, and there is always the chance of a return play onto Balon, who is, of course, eminently squishy early. It's why Guardian is now the go-to summoner. Keystone here onto the Rakan, just to have that extra shielding to allow the 2v2 trades not to be as one-sided.
I would also say that even though Caps cashed in and got so much money off the level 1, he has to be a little bit worried about Camille ganking towards the mid lane since he used his flash. Bottom lane right now, though, is where the action is.
Speaking about ganks, it's Broxah going in. He's finding the counter-strike instantly. Hylissang trying to get away. He's going to be in some trouble. No flash available means Jackie Love's able to clean it up as Broxa tries to escape here now as well. No flash available. He will leap strike over to his AD carry, but Fnatic lose one.
Ability to leap strike to a friendly, one of those unique things about the Q there from the Jax. They invest quite a lot, IG, to make this play happen. Flash and teleport comes through from Rookie for just a single kill. Stun doesn't register, although Ning, he's hunting for another kill.
All he does is wait for the counter strike to be used on the Grom. There it comes, Ning goes in, stun lands, counter stun coming out from Broxa, but remember the man does not have himself a flash. He does have a support nearby, and Ning may have bit off more than he can chew. Baolan does show up to make sure there's no sort of a counter kill coming through, but IG is aggressive.
Yep, the bottom lane pushing in allows for this invade, and they know that Caps doesn't have a flash, so his rotation over did not have a lot of threat behind it either, as he had to walk away after that. Meanwhile, top lane, still trading away in the classic Aatrox Urgot matchup.
Let's talk about the camps down here. This is buff to buff. Red buff into blue buff. Big camps is what Jax does best with the attack speed steroid. Comes bot lane, doesn't have his auto attack counts, just Q and E here for the gank. Able to come down and invest a lot, but with the teleports coming in and Ning being bottom side, that play, of course, was halted very quickly.
Oh, but now Caps is in some trouble. Throws down the gravity well, trying to get himself away, down to 50 HP, still going to be kept alive. And Caps will make it out.
Caps lives in the mid lane, doesn't even use the cleanse there. 3 members of Invictus Gaming come for him, but he defies all.
And it's so important to repel pressure in an early game that's been much kinder to Fnatic than game 1 and game 2. Never found the perfect time for a cleanse, didn't need it in hindsight. That'll bail him out till his flashes back up. But speaking of flashes, Brox is coming here. And
Broxa wants to go in. It's Soaz starting things off with a flash into Disdain. Broxa still has Counter-Strike, ready to go. Needs to get the stun down onto the Shy, and Soaz will find kill number 2 for Fnatic.
Jungle Jax has so many different gank paths, can even extend his engage range with a ward, can do lots of unique things. That's why Broxa is getting respect bans in the semifinals. Nice to be finding some of those targets. He needs them, as he only now pings level 4 with a top side scuttle.
Cheers go out from the crowd as they see life returning to Fnatic here in game number 3. A must-win game for themselves, already facing match point.
And returning to the state of the series as well, because we want to see a level up here. Even if this game 3 does go the way of IG, for it to be more competitive than the outings we saw in game 1 and 2, to get the fire out of this crowd here in Incheon would be awesome to see. We thought this would be another big 50-50 like Fnatic versus C9 was set up to be in the semifinals. Fnatic haven't been able to get over the hump. There still is plenty of firepower here for IG, but the level 1 start has so far heralded a much better time for Fnatic.
The level 1 start into the active early game from Broxa. Ning now trying to get himself into the bottom lane. Remember, no flash available for Hylissang, who is going to be chain CC'd now. The stun comes in, and Hilly's in some serious trouble. Ning also going to be taken pretty low here, but not low enough for it to matter. 1v1 in the mid lane, as Rookie nearly finds himself a solo kill, but now Caps can retaliate with force. The damage will not quite be there. The storm slows down as you walk away from it, and Caps can't find it. But now the rotation is coming in. The Shy wants to try to make something happen here onto Caps. Ulti's going to be used. Broxa comes in to try to stop this. Gravity field goes down. Caps is eliminated by the electrocution, and the Shy makes it a 3-2 game.
The passive auto attack from Aatrox, such a lethal part of his kit, and it does find the kill with the electrocute proc from the Shy.
And we shouldn't be surprised about auto attack cancels on a Riven main when he jumps onto Aatrox. He finds Soaz in lane, actually has to flash.
Yeah, that's not a situation you get away from if you don't flash away from that one. Good heads up there from the Shy staying alive. But we've got ourselves a very close game now, as Hylissang will not find that death sentence. Reckless is level 6. Jackie Love only level 5. Explains why Fnatic would want to go for a fight there, but no initiation means they're just farming up.
And what I want the fans at home to take away from some of the early plays here, as the hook does go wide, is that the play calling and the target selection from IG has been so smart. They go bot lane, not interested in Reckless, his flash is up, turn it onto Hylissang, they know his flash is down. The capitalization on the roam timing by the Shy to go from top lane to mid lane and look for a kill. Those sort of play calls, those adaptive play calls rather than reactive play calls, have been the tenet of IG today. Not IG all throughout this year, but for the maturing squad, they are finding little counterpunches, and actually now, this game is all tied up in terms of gold.
In addition to that, those bottom lane plays created by Invictus Gaming They spent the time to give the last hits over to Jackie Love, 2 on the Kaisa now, to propel him towards the completion of the Storm Racer.
Bottom side, Hylissang will hang out in this brush. So, maybe there's a death sentence or a flay to find. Balon still not level 6, and the death sentence just shy. It's a heartbreaker there for Fnatic to not be able to get that one, but it doesn't mean that IG can make a counterattack just yet. You can see the Galio hanging around that bottom side of the river, looking to maybe go in. It's Balon grabbing himself a 2-man knockup as Fnatic get themselves back now. Lantern bringing that 80 carry back to safety as Jackie and Balon will also disengage.
Yep, a lot of cards were shown there. Fnatic back off because they saw Rookie rotating down through the river for a possible Galio ultimate. Now they've turned their attention towards him and in defending this control ward. Little do they know, Ning is waiting over the wall.
This could be a very explosive 2 versus 2 if Ning has his way. Rookie taking a little bit of damage there from Caps from that Q that we talked about so much in the top lane matchups, but Caps will just continue farming up here as it looks like Balon will also join the party.
In spite of what we might have expected, it is actually the Q augment first here for movement speed to try to avoid ganks rather than the E augment that's been picked up by Caps. So much less about pushing klepto trades and also sidestep on Galio when he goes aggressive with the Hero's Entrance or even just with the Justice Punch is what he's prized on. And so far, it's been pretty comfortable lane, but no meaningful CS lead for the Victor.
And IG have just been pressuring Caps so much so far. And it's something that I mentioned in the Cloud9 series that Fnatic dominated so heavily. Caps had a lot of room to breathe. He was not pressured excessively, and he had phenomenal performances. IG are saying that's not the game Fnatic get to play today. They're having people hang around. They don't want Caps to feel like he can play the game he wants to play. And we'll see how they continue moving on with that as Hylissang moves into the Drake pit just to drop a ward over the wall. It is Infernal first. We'll see how the teams want to fight over that one as Void Seeker from Jackie Love makes its way into Hylissang, who instantly loses half his HP.
Look at the expenditure of wards from Invictus Gaming around the bottom lane. It is littered with control wards. Investments from every single member. Here we go, though. Hylissang lands a hook.
Hylissang wanting to go in. The box is going to be dropped down. Hilly can't get himself away, and Jackie will pop the plasma to go on a killing spree. Soaz, in the meantime, trying to find himself a fight against the Shy 1v1. The chains come out, the ult goes through. Soaz trying to get himself back now. The Shy is going to be revived even if he drops. Soaz gets himself back, has already used the Fear Beyond Death. Reckless will continue trying to hold the line in the bottom lane, but it's already first turret going over to IG.
And those control wards at entrances meant that Galio was able to rotate first. That's why they could re-engage on the fight. The percentage play is to play around your vision, and the global that has easy access to bot side. So that's exactly what IG do. They pick up the kill, the turret, everything falls into place, except for Broxah trying to take advantage of some recall timings in order to sneak an Infernal Drake.
Well, the ward from IG in the pit, we'll see him making that attempt as Rookie comes back into the mid lane and instantly takes off half of Caps' health. Red team securing themselves the Drake, it says on your screen, and that is at least something for Fnatic, who have not got themselves any Drakes up until this point in the series. Ning tries to go over the wall, but may have gone too far forward. Tries to go into the Hextech ultimatum. Cap's gonna be caught out, goes into stasis, keeping himself alive. Taunt gonna be used, finds its way on the 2, wins the 4 over the wall, will not find the kill as Jackie goes in, looking to find the damage onto Caps, won't quite be able to do it. Reckless barely getting away now as well. Hook down onto Ning, the feathers are recalled, the damage is through, and Brox has found himself one. Soaz is taken down as the Shy makes it an even trade, but Caps is looking for more. Hylissang grabs the CC down on the IG top laner as the Caps tries to get away. Jackie Love goes on a rampage. The shutdown onto the Shy. It is a bloodbath as IG lose 2 and Fnatic lose 3.
What a chase through the jungle. They're still looking for Hylissang. This chase isn't over. He's running down towards the bottom lane, but there's nowhere to go.
He's running the wrong way. Rip. I don't think there's any way out of that one. They'll give the money over to Rookie. Oh, Hylissang, it's a slow, painful kind of death. And nope, Ning swoops in. Meanwhile, Jackie, he's unstoppable underneath the turret, and Caps cannot get away.
And it's a delayed ace for IG by the end of it. Fnatic were playing out their skins, trying to find the first kill, but the moment the Shy could get going, as we'll see at the tail end, things turn. But we'll start here on the Ace of Predator replay with how the fight started. Ning has to evacuate early. The threat is too much. as Caps is turned onto by him. But with the front-to-back team fighting here, definitely wasn't necessarily IG favorite at the start.
Look at Jackie Love into the back line, forces Caps' flash, and out to the other side of the fight. Then Soaz sees the kill. He goes in and finds Ning, only to be answered quickly by the Shy. 1-for-1 top laners at that moment, but the chase is not over as Invictus Gaming runs straight through the jungle to finish it up.
The Shy happy to push forward with no ultimate, knowing the rest of his team would back him up. Reckless head in hands in the replay understands that even though they played that pretty well, they got the first kill. The health bars being low and the Shy having his flash up meant that the innards were exposed and the reward was 5 kills.
I mean, this has been an incredible year for Fnatic in the European LCS. It was their return to the throne, taking back first place after G2 had owned it for so long. However, this year on the world stage has completely belonged to the LPL, them winning every international tournament.
And it was RG up till now.
Yep.
That were able to find those wins. IG coming up short again, except in the regular season. But now they're the ones who have stepped up to the challenge here against Fnatic.
And if IG to go on to win, they would, of course, complete that LPL clean sweep of international events. And you look at IG, and in hindsight, after a win here, you might say, okay, but of course they can make those adaptations and win. They have the talent to do so. But the adaptation LPL team was always RNG and their ability to warp games and allow Uzi to be that primary carry. Our IG were guilty of having very skillful players who would win the game the same way. Win lane, win game was always their approach, and adaptations were the reasons they couldn't actually pick up that big trophy domestically. The adaptations over the course of Worlds, smartly using Duke, and by the end, the Shy, as the meta has evolved, are the reasons they've looked so good. As Fnatic, they're looking for a game.
They want to make the play onto the Shy, but he also wants to turn things around. A lot of damage comes out from him, quickly goes into the Resurrection. 200 HP again, but now brought down. And Ning walks into a really bad spot. He'll be taken very low, but Rookie comes in to save him. The double kill's already gone over to Reckless. Can they find anything else? They're trying to get away, but the shutdown goes over to the side of Balan and IG. Fnatic bringing the reinforcements as Hillsong tries to buy some time. Caps and Soaz make their way into the fight, but Jackie's already dominating. Rookie's able to find the lockdown. The damage comes through. It's Jackie Love! Caps will be the last man standing, but he will fall with the rest.
There are yellow pings being spammed on the map by IG, but Rookie says not done yet. He continues to go forward on Galio, finds a kill on Illisang, and then flashes in to set up the other two for Jackie Love to clean house. Rookie definitely stands tall.
And you kind of losing the shuffle. This begun with the Shy being 3v1, taken down, and then Ning messing up his hook shot, and it was a 2-for-0. Remember, this is a 3v3 at best to start off this play after the Galio joins. Balan starts to group up. It's only Galio and Rakan, but skill expression on Galio is often almost impossible. He can be very binary as a champion.
Look
and
at
yet
that.
Rookie always gets the maximum out of his toolkit. He sees the Fnatic carries group up and flash taunt later. Suddenly everything falls into place for Jackie Love.
Yeah, I believe on the review, those pings were just to alert everyone of the presence. Rookie says, yes.
Hey, watch this.
2 more kills are headed my way. And honestly, so well deserved from this guy. He is considered by many to be the single best League of Legends player at the entire tournament, and he has definitely shown up.
Well, mid lane, it's Hillsong, who's now finding himself collapsed on by IG, and Jackie Love 8-0-3, 17 minutes into the game on this Kaisa. The Shy still looking to extend the fight. Will be taken into the Resurrection. Can he get himself away? Soaz wants to find something, but Balan's able to go in with CC. Shut down over for Reckless. Rookie looking to find some more. It's Ning locking down Caps, and Soaz will flash for his life.
The slaughter here for IG. They can't find everyone, but able to disengage, but they continue to play make, and I love that you bring up Rookie. Someone we haven't had to discuss too much this series, because it's been Ning who's been popping off. It's been the supporting cast that's been having big games. This is Rookie's homecoming back to his native Korea. His only Korea title was in South Korea, in Busan, ironically, when Katie Rolls to Arrows won OGN Champions Summer 2014. No titles since then, despite his reputation as a top 3 mid laner, his next title might be the World Championship back in his native Korea.
And as Proskurin said, that would make it all worth it. The time he has spent, the amount he has invested in his career with the Chinese scene means that he could very well make it all worthwhile today as Invictus Gaming will grab the second Infernal Drake of the game.
And that time can't be trivialized because a lot of Korean players went to China and went to the LPL and then bailed out. They said, okay, I need to go back to Korea to win. KT Rolster is founded upon that concept in the last 2 years. But this is him sticking the course, learning Chinese, and then watching his teammates level up around him.
And this is Invictus Gaming. Once they get the lead, they turn it up to 10. Full power here, not letting off the gas pedal. Riftail used once again, and they're taking it all the way to the inhibitor turret.
IG is a team that has broken into the base before without needing Baron. 2 times against G2, they just kicked the door and they said, we don't need Baron. It's not important. And they might just look to do it here again as they're already onto the tier 3 turrets.
Sometimes they don't even need turrets, Captain Flower. Sometimes just dive triple turrets against them and go for plays in there anyway. They definitely don't need an invitation to go for further aggression, but they control so much of the map. And spare a thought for Jackie Love, 9-0-4. Double legendary already here. His items are piling up, and the pain for Fnatic is as well.
There's one thing for sure, it's that Invictus Gaming style fully encompasses what we've seen at this year's Worlds Tournament.
Absolutely.
Individual outplays, aggressive movements, very, very quick games. And this one, they're making it look very similar. Infernal Drakes have been evened up. Invictus Gaming do have a substantial gold lead, and they're already trying to move Vision into Fnatic's jungle in preparation for Baron, who hasn't even arrived yet.
Yeah, it's a 17-7 lead. You've got a 9-kill Kai'Sa. Baron's not even on the map. IG is going crazy this game.
I'm amused by the fact that Ning has a Kindle gem. He might just say, well, I got a 9-0 Kai'Sa. I guess I'm building a Knight's Vow on Camille. Why not?
No reason not to.
There's no reason to. He understands that this is very much Jackie Love's game to control. And that means that IG, they start off the Baron. It's 20 minutes and 17 seconds in. What can Fnatic do?
All right, Fnatic, they got to look for it. This is their hope. Their backs are against the walls. The Baron is dropping down. They have no vision.
You've got to stop it here, but Bellont's able to go over the wall. Broxton goes in! He steals the Baron and keeps Fnatic hopes alive!
Just when it is darkest, Broxa gets over the pit. He gets the Baron. They kill the Shy Fnatic.
Shy's gone down. Rookie's into the middle of 4, but now here comes the cavalry. It's IG looking to find the kills. Balon's taken down. Rookie and Jackie in retreat. A double kill over to Reckless. And Fnatic will find their shot.
They will not let this World Championship slip through their fingers just yet. Fnatic fighting are able to just pull themselves back within reach.
And this Fnatic is the one with the grit, is the one that will continue to fight back. Watch this steal, I believe 70 health. Pops over, comes in,
God.
70 health, no smite used by Ning. He smite auto attacks it to death. And from there, the Shy actually dies because he popped his ult earlier, and that means the Galio ult is for North.
Yep, they catch him as soon as it times out. Caps has a very well-timed laser. Didn't want to pop it too early for the revive. Invictus Gaming then try and collapse, as they've done before, to clean up the extra kills, but it won't be the same case this time around.
And that's some really good positioning from Soaz, who was eating all of the damage from the 9, now 10-0 Kai'Sa. Wasn't able to spread that lead to the backline. That means that Xayah actually out-damages the Kai'Sa because the setups were just more favorable for Fnatic.
And this is what we talked about with Soaz being subbed in. This could mean a more reckless-centric composition. One where he's the big carry, where he's doing the heavy lifting. And man, he's flexing those muscles with damage outputs like that. Soaz has the righteous glory, looking to find his way onto the Shy. Wants the disdain for that throwback. It's Fnatic with a 4-man collapse. IG will push into the rest of the map as they'll have the Shy buy as much time as he can. Caps is already sent back to the base to try to clear some waves, as the rest of Fnatic will head back now as well.
Those sort of plays are fine when you have the Baron Baron buff, and you can't be caught out in a couple of different locations. They will lose an inner turret, but after winning a team fight, having minions push in this area probably means more farm to Fnatic rather than as much woes as if the map was in the state it was before. They now have more ability to push out and actually reclaim control over things like Raptors and their sides of the jungle. Now, this hasn't brought the game to parity by any means. They are still 5,000 gold behind, but the ability to fight back and make those smart reactive calls from Fnatic are keeping them in the series.
While the game may not be even, this is the first time this series where we've seen Fnatic really hit back. This is not just a sign of life. These guys are going to go down swinging, and that's exactly what you need to see, and it's all on the back of the superstar jungler Broxa, again, making the play for his team.
He has definitely had huge plays on the world stage, but they need to remain focused. Even though you get excited in the game with a huge play like that, they need to take the necessary steps here in setting up their vision so that they don't get hit with this incredible engage that Invictus Gaming have. So Fnatic, they're trying to pressure up on the top side, get some turret damage for themselves with this Baron buff in time, while also laying defensive wards through their red jungle.
And it's honestly been the first time where it's been relevant to take a step back, zoom out and say, how do IG play out team fights rather than just, okay, they're crushing in multiple areas, the team comp's not necessary. Like you say, IG have Camille ultimate into Galio, a very reliable engage tool used around the world. Fnatic can run them around the map to decrease the potential of this play, but maybe they're going to meet each other head on.
Broxa wants to go in. He's going to be taken very low, though. IG already looking to knock down that tier 3 turret. Broxa's in some trouble. Has to pop the ult just in case Jackie wants to go crazy. The Shy finds a little bit of damage down into Caps, but the inhibitor is the target. With Broxa still low, Fnatic can't make their counterattack just yet. Hillsong wants to hang out off to the side, see if maybe he can find something. Caps grabs the laser, but it's Bellon into the back line, looking to find everybody. Here comes your Hextech ultimatum into your Galio ultimate. Ning's gonna be taken low, goes into the stasis. Jackie's legendary. They've already found the kill into Soaz, they've already found the kill into Caps. It's the solo laners down, and IG are pushing for the win. Hillsong is taken very low, and it's still 5 members of the LPL squad alive.
Flash up onto Rakan, the re-engage gets some of the carries. Reckless still alive, but can they keep this game up?
It's an impossible defense at this point. Broxa and Reckless versus the world. Reckless goes on a rampage, but Ning is still there pressuring onto the turret with the rest of IG. Reckless is down, Broxa's away. IG are on the Nexus. The LPL has never won before, but that will change today. The Crownless are finally king, and Invictus Gaming are your 2018 World Champions.
Invictus Gaming have never won an LPL title, but now they have something no other LPL team has. The Summoner's Cup.
See the tears of joy in Rookie's eyes. The Chinese squad here, the LPL squad, able to celebrate a famous victory and cap off a year of domination for the LPL. Some say that year started at All-Star last year. We know that it ends today here with a massive victory for Invictus Gaming. RNG were able to get them this far, and IG were the ones, surprisingly, to cap off this year. The Shy and Rookie embrace Rookie's first title in 4 years.
For a team that won so handedly in the regular splits and then came up short during the biggest moments, this is vindication. Everything they worked for, everything they did, how far they've come. This is the culmination of all that hard work for the entire team. This has to feel fantastic. This wasn't even a series that you look back at and say, man, what a close one. This is a series you look at and say, IG showed everyone how you play League of Legends in 2018.
Just look at the emotion on stage. Rookie letting it all out. He is the one who committed to the exchange, going to the LPL, 5 years invested in that league, learning the language and climbing up the ranks. Now it's all worth it. As he finds a championship back in Korea.
And we see, of course, the Fnatic players accepting the handshakes here in defeat. It has still been an incredible year for the EULCS. 2 teams in the semi-finals. Fnatic in the World Finals. First Western team in the World Finals since Season 1. But this day is going to be remembered as cementing China's year. 2018 does go to the LPL, and very, very worthy winners will be Invictus Gaming.
The dream of every competitive League of Legends team now being realized as Invictus Gaming will hoist the Summoners Cup together and claim their victory.
Gotta say, my favorite part about today was that it was very much 5 members of Invictus Gaming, not just the Korean solo laners dragging their teammates to the trophy. Ning was probably the MVP of this series. We'll see where the votes go. That's going to be a complicated decision. Jackie Love popping off more often than not, leveling up like we asked him to after really being second best to Reckless in the group stage. 5 members strong, Invictus Gaming, reaching their ceilings on the same day. Coalesces in these amazing scenes in Incheon.
They've definitely improved over the course of this tournament and looked exceptional today. What a performance.
It doesn't get any better for IG. Finally bringing the Summoners Cup home to the LPL for the first time in competitive League of Legends history. What a moment for these guys. What a moment for this team. And now to wrap up the tournament, we're going to send things over to the analyst desk.
Thank you once again, Captain Flowers. Invictus Gaming, your 2018 World Final Champions. As they hoist the Summoners Cup, pure elation for this team as they achieve what no other LPL team has done up to this point.
They were domestic gods in the LPL, but under crunch time, they fell down. They stood in the shadow of RNG and proving that 2018 may have been started by Uzi, but it was finished by Rookie.
And the players that had been understated all year, Ning, Balan, Jackie, all showed up as well as Rookie and the Shy.
As Caster June takes to the stage next to Rookie, I'd like to welcome Ho-Min Lee of Riot Korea to the desk to help us with any translations as necessary. Ho-Min, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
일단 너무 고맙고 just so thankful.
Oh, Rookie.
The crowd behind him.
제가 지금까지 우승만을 위해 달려왔는데 지금까지 우승 못 해와서
Through all these years, I just
너무
focused on my
갈망했거든요.
first
근데
Summer's
이렇게
Cup.
가져 너무 팀원한테 고맙고
So thankful to my teammates.
首先
Emotion getting the better of him, as it should, as you worked your entire life towards this moment.
我非常感谢以来支持爱的所有的粉丝，支持一直支持 Rookie 的粉丝们。
Overcome with emotion, but
我
support
好
pouring
久
out from
好
the
久
fans in
渴
the
望这个
audience.
冠军了。可能这几年我很累的时候，其实很多压力的时候，其实很想放弃这个职业这个选手，然后一直很多就不管什么粉丝都喊我，就给我鼓励，给我鼓掌什么的，我才能做到现在这个位置，才能达到这个位置。我非常感谢粉丝们，谢谢。
Speaking in Chinese, so Ho-Min will hold off for us. But of course, that seems
shows
right.
how much he's committed to the LPL as well, saying these in Mandarin.
Rookie speaks in Mandarin on stream,
네.
so he's known the
저한테
language for
해주신
a very long
말씀이랑 비슷한
time.
말씀하신 거죠, 네. 그래도 우리가 참 오랜만에 봤는데, 예. 그래도 어느 시점쯤 돼서 16강, 8강, 4강 어느 쯤 되니까 내가 이제 우승할 수 있겠구나. 우리 IG가
Throughout what
우승할
point
수
of the
있겠구나.
tournament,
그 생각이
like
딱
quarterfinals,
들더라고요.
group stage, semifinals, did you
사실
feel that you can maybe
이런 생각을
hoist the Summer's
가지진
Cup and win the
않았어요.
actual
그냥
tournament?
저희가 하던 대로 보여드리면 되지 않을까 하고 지금까지 그냥 부담 없이 게임을 했던 것 같아요.
We were always confident that as long as we can play our own game
就是
and not be pressured under the crowd or the opponents, I was confident that we could win the
然后
whole
我回
tournament.
答的就是，因为大家的对我们的期望没有那么高嘛，所以就对我个人是就所有的压力都就是扔掉，然后很放松去打，然后结果我们就拿到冠军了，谢谢。
What can I say? People didn't have the highest expectations. It was a lot of pressure. That's a translation being fed to me, and now we have the championship.
자, LPL이 드디어 월드 챔피언십에서 우승을 차지했습니다.
LPL finally won its first world championship.
팬분들, 뭐 EDG 팬분들,
There are RNG fans,
팬분들
EDG
정말 이
fans.
순간을 기뻐하고 계실 텐데
I'm sure they're all cheering for IG
세계
in
최고다.
celebration of LPL's
우리는
first
이렇게 했다. 한
championship.
말씀 끝으로 부탁드릴게요.
Please say your last words to the LPL fans.
어떻게? 그러니까 다시 문제 안 들.
LPL이 힘들게 최초로 정상에 올랐잖아요. RNG 팬분들, 뭐 IG 팬들, EDG 팬들 듣고 싶은 말씀
So he's
많으실
just
것 같습니다.
repeating the
그분들
same
좀
question.
프라이드 생기게 자긍심 느끼게 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다. 끝으로.
일단 진짜 오랫동안 LPL이 월드 챔피언십에서 우승 차지 못했는데
It's been so long that
주인공이
LPL
될수
has
있는 거에 너무 고맙고
failed to
많은 LPL
perform well at the World
팬분들한테 이런
Championship.
영광을 안겨줄 수 있는 거 너무
I'm
너무
so proud that I
자랑스럽고
could
또 그래요.
provide this championship to all the LPL fans.
就 LPL 这8年一个都没拿到世界冠军，然后他让我跟你们说一句话，就我很感谢这帮 LPL 拿冠军的战队是 IG， 然后我希望大家对 IG 的要求啊、期望啊、支持率越来越高，然后希望大家都不停的支持我们一下。我不知道
I
怎
hope
么
the
说
fans
话
have more faith in IG and continue to support us. But to me, so fitting that he ends on the note of the Chinese language.
축하의 박수를 부탁드립니다. 네.
Please send your applause to IG and LPL.
네. 자, 지금부터는 이제
Speaks volumes that a player
메달
of his caliber
수여식을 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 자,
would move to another region
네. 메달을 수여하실 분을 여러분께 모시겠는데요.
and play a vital role in handing them their first world title.
이 자리에 함께 계시잖아요.
Especially when so many of the LCK players went back to the LCK after a year or two. You can see how much Rookie has committed to the LPL and really values his teammates so much as well.
And he embodies that LPL spirit of being someone who plays for the lane.
Very much so. Of course, again, swapping between Korean and Mandarin. Thank you, Ho-Man, for stepping onto the desk to help us with the points that you could.
Thank you.
With that, though, Mark Merrill, Brandon Beck, some other notables I will name as we see them roll across your screen here for the medal ceremony to award these players for their championship title.
And I do want to give a quick shout out to Duke while we have him on camera. Two-time world champion now, and while he didn't play in this final, he was pivotal in Invictus Gaming making this moment.
You as well have Nicolo Laurent from Riot. Siri Park, former LPGA pro on the stage. Chan Ho Park, former MLB pitcher. Thank you very much. Not much of a baseball fan myself. Ryu Seung-min, gold medalist in table tennis. And then, of course, as I mentioned, Brandon Beck and Mark Merrill of Riot Games. And again, for our finalists, as the fans in the stadium rally behind them.
Yeah, LPL fans really came out in force today as well. Plenty of Invictus Gaming flags. You could hear IG chants during the opening ceremony. And here they give another ovation.
Next up, finals MVP will be awarded. So we wait on bated breath for that announcement.
해도 되겠죠? 예. 자, 이제 오늘 결승전 자, 파이널의 MVP를 발표하도록 하겠습니다. 자, 이승현 대표님 그리고 니콜로 씨 연임 부탁드리겠습니다.
Voted on by representatives from around the world.
롤드컵 우승을 향한 정말 대단한 여정이었습니다. 이 과정에서 오늘 우리는
It's a nice trophy.
특별한 활약을 보여주신 한 선수를 기억합니다.
Yeah,
2018 League of Legends World Championship Finals MVP 닝 선수입니다.
And it goes to Ning. Finals MVP has just been awarded to Ning.
거의 노데스.
Well deserved.
Huge moment for Ning. Obviously, massive variance in his performance. There we go. Ning has been a double-edged sword for Invictus Gaming for so long. His hyper-aggression has sometimes bit them in the ass, but today he played the right side of that coin and came up massive when it counted.
And I know we awarded him 2 Player of the Games for games 1 and 2 as well. I think he's incredibly deserving of the finals MVP, which is speaking about this particular series, because he really had amazing games. Jungle pathing early on Camille. The Gragas game was legendary, and he brought it home in the end.
Yeah, all tournament long, we were waiting for him to step up into what we knew he could be, what he had been in the past and had been known throughout the LPL for being at times. But here on the biggest stage, in the biggest moment, staring down the barrel of the first LPL title, and he puts up an MVP performance.
And it's so important, you know, it's not Rookie, it's not the Shy. People look at this team and say, of course, it's hard carried by your Korean imports. Of course that's how it's going to be, but it is the Chinese jungler who brings it home.
It is so crazy to believe, you know, a player that has trouble transferring his scrim performance onto stage does it in the World Finals. Out of all places, he does it in the World Finals, performs out of his mind, and just delivers for his team.
Has his Wheaties this morning.
Yeah, the known quantities coming into the series felt like Rookie and the Shy. It was Ning, Baolan, Jackie that felt like the variables. And Ning had the series of his life.
Yeah, all of them stepping up in their own right, but Ning just that eensy bit more than the rest. One more time, huddling around that trophy that they so very much deserve. Absolute dominance here in the 2018 World Final. 3-0 victory over the EU squad in Fnatic. They got it done.
Put it to bed, put it to rest. The LPL is the best region in the world.
Absolutely agree. We started that conversation at the beginning of the day, and IG just ended it.
Prior to the World Championship, there was the discussion as IG gets their final call from Caster June.
Oh, please relish that moment, fellows. You said it at the top of the day, Yamato, for a lot of these players. This may be the only time, who knows, right? Some of them have returned, some of them stepping up onto the stage for the first time, but it's a special moment, and you have to do everything in your power to remember it, to cling on to it, to live in it.
You gotta take as many mental pictures as you can, because this is rare, and they deserve it.
You never know if you will be back on this stage again.
And such youth. The prodigy Jacula popping off in that final game as Kaisa. He now has this momentum, this confidence behind him that as that prodigy, as a newcomer to the competition, to Uzi, that he gets to lift the Summoners Cup.
Exactly. Before the tournament, there was the conversation of tournament favorites, and it was all between KT and RNG. And if you were having the conversation about best region in the world, it was asking the question of, is it the LPL or is it just RNG? I think IG answered the question definitively in this matchup, 3-0ing Fnatic in the World Final. As Frostcurrent said, the LPL is now the best region in the world.
24 teams entered this tournament, all the way back where the play-in started. One team remains standing, and it is Invictus Gaming of the LPL. That's right, boys. Pick it up one more time. Take it away. It's yours. Just don't drop it. Oh, I love it. Look at him shuffling off.
No solo carries for the Summoners Cup dash.
It's a team effort.
Is that the duo lane carrying it off? I think it is.
Game 3, 13-0-7 on the Kaisa.
Support staff greeting them as they make their way off the stage. We say it's a team effort. Let's remember all the people behind these 5 players. Subs included, coaches, analysts, team managers, GMs, everything it takes to build a world.